whichever way is your best way. So who has questions? Who would like to start off?
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, ladies first.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, Jazz, it's Ray. How are
Hey,
you?
Ray, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Good.
Um, so I know we kind of thank you very much for answering my questions on the Facebook page. By the way, I really appreciate that. Um, so I'm in Tallahassee right now,
Okay.
and I got started a little bit from another program, but it wasn't as comprehensive and as thorough as this as the information you're giving.
Okay.
So there are things that I have to go back to on the drawing board with. I guess I'm just like my mind's kind of scrambled. I haven't booked my first customer yet. I have started the hiring process, but I started in Tallahassee, but I'm already thinking about going to another area that has higher income, like Miami, something like that. But I'm
Okay.
just still in the research and development areas, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm kind of like all over the place.
Okay.
That's not really a question though.
Yeah. No, it's okay. And then of course, if you have a follow-up, please ask that as well. But one thing about this phase is that like as thorough as I would like for you guys to be in this process to make sure that you guys are getting the right information and setting your business up right. On the other hand, I also don't want this to to cause you to halt or to cause you to be stuck in this one place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I want you to know the information so you could have the right information to look at, right? And also from my from a little insight of what I know from the market, from Miami market is very different because it's a very big touristy Airbnb big house, right? So it depends on the kind of market that you're aiming for. Tallahassee, I think, is a great market for residential, for nice suburban areas. So like, don't get too stuck on that part. And the thing about it is like, you may want to test it and try it out. Like literally like look for a couple cleaners. If your locations are, I think it's, I don't know if it's 100 miles or 2 hours. I think it varies amongst platforms because it depending on where your location is listed, like Thumbtack, right? I'm gonna have to look at that and try to confirm that. Maybe I can do that while I'm answering another question. Like you can put different like radius, right? So like if you really wanted to test it out to see what market would work better, you could do that. Like hire a couple cleaners in this area, hire a couple cleaners in this area, turn on your ads and see, how well or what kind of feedback you get from those two areas. So that way you can kind of make a little better decision. But the thing about it is like I want you to know the information so that way you kind of know what to look for, but definitely try not to get stuck there.
Yeah. I did a couple of interviews, so proud of myself because it was the first time I had ever done any interviews before. But I think what's turning people off is the business liability insurance because they, I'm like, well, you have to have that requirement in my ad, but I think it's turning them off because it's independent contractor and they're like, well, I don't really, trust that, I don't know.
They don't trust them. They don't trust them
I
having
think
to
it's
get it.
I think it's that because the whole premise is I'm supposed to be there to supply them jobs, but yet you want me to pay for a business liability insurance, but it's not steady income. Like I think that's what is because
Okay.
I've had people come out and do like the test clean and they do well and I pay them for the test clean, but then it's like, I don't know, I don't hear, well, how do I put it? I've had a few people to just kind of ghost me. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just assuming too much. You know what I mean?
Now, I mean, for one thing, like you will have those cleaners to where like they don't see the need in having to have that. They've either been in business for a really long time, they never heard of anybody requesting it. I think if you explain it to them in a way to where like this protects you, like this insurance is to make sure that you're protected, right? And then also like you can kind of let them know that, hey, the insurance is not, like give them a kind of a dollar amount, right? Like, hey, this insurance gonna maybe cost $30 a month. So that way they won't assume that it's gonna be super expensive like a car insurance.
Okay.
And then also let them know that these business expenses, they can write off. So it could also help them when it's time for them to write off their taxes at the end of the year as well.
Did you mention that there was an insurance video on the Cleaning Academy on the Circle, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll have more information on that.
Yeah, I'll tag you in the video because there is a lot more, because like I only know very little, just enough, right? But he came and he was so thorough and just gave so much information. Especially I love the part where he talks about like what we need to require that they put on their insurance. Where like I used to think just asking for a copy of it was sufficient enough, but then come to find out that it's really not.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, I will run through it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, Steve, your turn, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Just so you know, I've been sending you some DMs. I'm not sure if you're not getting them.
I'm so sorry, you guys. Like, so whenever I have to plan a super, super big event, like when I'm like super gung-ho focused, like 3 hours of sleep, I'm like still waking up at 5, but going to bed at 2. So every single time I get a big burnout crash and like sleep overload. So like today is the first day where like I'm feeling back to normal, where I'm not waking up tired. So I'm so sorry.
You're good. Because I forget. I was like, I think I'm busy, but hey, just gonna start another level right now.
I'm so sorry.
Oh man. Anyways, well, I did apply the Thumbtack, the zip code. I kind of changed things and I moved things around. And yeah, like it's been great, but man, Thumbtack is so annoying because I'll sometimes get people like reaching out to me or booking me directly, and I'll try and get a hold of them, and they do not respond.
Yeah.
So
on the Thumbtack app.
Yeah. So I try calling them, I try texting them, and I get frustrated. I'm like, what is this? So I've tried to get some refunds, and they would tell, oh no, this doesn't apply for a refund. I'm like, I was just charged $40 for this lead.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So then I realized, I was like, wait, I remember Jasmine saying something like in her Thumbtack video saying you want to turn off the recurring like frequencies.
Yes.
Does that still apply? Because I have 1 week option on, 2 weeks monthly. So I think like that's what dings me. Because I think on Thumbtack, like the moment someone like reaches out to you, if it's a frequency, you pay more versus just $10. So I'm like, I'm not sure like if that thing still applies. Like, have you seen that that's still like applicable? Or
no, yes, definitely. So the things that cause Thumbtack lead to cost more is definitely the reoccurring. Because they figure that the more you can make on this client, the more we can charge you. So it's definitely reoccurring, and then larger homes. Okay. And then instant booking, like they tell you off top. I forget the percentage. I don't know if it's 20 or 30%, but it's somewhere in between there, to where they will charge you that additional percentage just for an instant booking. So those 3 things will cause your fees to be high. And then of course on the opportunity leads. Now, the only good thing about the opportunity leads is you can actually see the cost prior to you accepting it, but it's still higher unless like they're offering you some kind of discount. But it's still higher.
Got it. So currently, would you say that it's best to take off those like frequencies and just go for the one-time jobs, like you were saying, like in your video? Okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because like that to me, and now this is just opinion based too, you guys, opinion and experience based. I feel like for majority times I ever had reoccurring on, like I would rather have instant on. Like I've had instant on for a long time. I would rather have instant on than reoccurring, because I feel like most times when they select reoccurring, they're coming with the mindset like, oh yeah, I would love to, like, have this on a reoccurring. And then you'll hear the spiel where they'll be like, yes, if I love this, I want to book you guys again. But like the chances of me closing those was very slim to far few. I had much better success in closing a one-timer versus scheduling somebody that thinks that they want to, and they just book that.
Got it. And like, what is your approach to like responding to them? Like after they reach out to 5 different pros and you see on there, this person contacted 5 different pros. They're like, God dang it.
I know. So the number one thing is response. The response time, not response, but the response time is going to be your number one thing. Like literally, if you can respond in within seconds, and you'll see it. Like you'll see. Let me see. I think I have a client's thumbtack up.
Oh, my phone is literally glued to my fingers. So
right? I'm telling you, that's how it has to be. But like you'll see it, like when you ever look at the job reviews and you'll go over there and look at to see like how many people it was sent to, or the time frame, it'll say this person responded within 5 seconds. This person responded within 6 seconds, 3 hours, 2 hours. So the response time matters, because my thought around it is, if I can respond the fastest, then the probability of that person still being on their phone has increased, right? And if they're still on their phone, that means I can still have that opportunity to conversate with them versus them putting their phone down and getting distracted. Oh, like, don't let me put my phone down. I'm distracted all the way, already like working on and doing something else. So my thought process is, if I can be the first to respond, then I can hope that they're still on the phone. Now, if they do not respond like within a couple of seconds on through Thumbtack, then I'm automatically sending them a text message. And if they don't respond on a text message, then I'm automatically giving them a phone call, right? So that's like my flow to like that first connective conversation. Also, my initial response is like really high on customer service. I try to always mention their name. And then if I can read whatever like little blimp they put in the message, then I always want to try to acknowledge that, because that just like takes, just an extra initiative so that I care. So they'd be like, oh, my husband died, right? We had one of those. My husband died. I need an appointment. Or, I'm so sorry for your loss. How can we help? Right. Or, I have family coming in time for graduation. Oh, how exciting. We'll definitely, like whatever it is, just to take the time to acknowledge that, because they see it and they know you acknowledged it. So response time, customer service, and then just following up. So that's like my 3 follow-ups, right? And then I wait a couple of minutes, maybe like 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'll do my little follow-up again. So I'll do that within an hour for the first 3 times if I don't have no response, unless I see that blue check mark. If I see that blue check mark and I don't get no response, then in my mind I can kind of assume that they're already talking to somebody else. So then I go to my sales. I'll be like, hey, I know that you're still looking for cleaning services. We'll love to be able to provide you a 10% off your cleaning services, so that way we can help you. If you're talking to anybody else, let us know if we can beat them, because I know that our service can beat them, right? So that's when I kind of go into like the overdrive sales field, because I see that they saw my message. They just didn't respond. Now, could they have saw it and they just didn't respond because they put the phone down? Yes, but I don't want to lose the lead. So I don't mind offering some percentage off, because if I lose the lead, I already lost the lead cost. So at least you make the lead cost back.
Yeah. Okay. And like, what is your average for your like lead cost? Because man, like I last night I left like Thumbtack on. Then I woke up and I felt like 4 people trying to like, like reach out, like instant, like it wasn't really instant, like it was more or less like 4 different like
directly
people, and nobody will answer. And I checked my cost and it cost me like 100 and something. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was literally like, I was punching thumbtack in the air. I'm like, come on, this one. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And then it hit me. I'm like, maybe I'm just like overpaying or, oh man, it's tough. I cannot wait for my SEO to kick in. I really can't. I really cannot wait.
So the lead cost definitely depends on like the things we talked about in the beginning, and then also your area, like where you're at as well. That has a lot to do with it. Because right now I'm working with a client and he's in Minnesota, and I don't think I haven't seen lead costs so affordable in like a while, and they're affordable with like high cost. Like this is a lead, it's a 5.4 and the estimate cost is $5.55 and the lead costs $17.
Whoa.
Right? Like I don't think I've seen that kind of a lead cost in a long time. Like he'll get a $300 lead for like $12.
What?
So it really depends on the market a lot. So yeah, unfortunately, it depends a lot on the market. But you have to think about, I don't like, also when you get on Thumbtack, take a look and see individually like how much your leads cost, because I know that sometimes when we look at the overall how much we spent for it, and if we didn't close it, we always think about, oh my goodness, like look what I didn't close. But we have to think about like if we did close it, then we would not mind having to pay $20 for a lead, right? We wouldn't even mind paying $25 for a lead or $30 for a lead if I know that I can bring this lead in, provide excellent service, and then get them to become a reoccurring client. And I can wipe out that acquisition cost within like 2 cleanings. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like when we're looking at it like that, it's like, okay, the investment is worth it. It just, we want to make sure that all those beginning things that we talked about is done to help close the lead.
Right. Well, that really helps because I have a strategy now because last night and today I've been really mad, but I'm like, I'm going to listen to what Jasmine said. She used Thumbtack for a while. So, hey, I do appreciate
You're welcome.
The golden stuff you've shared. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Hey, Bridget. Okay, yes, I will definitely look at your message. And again, I'm not sure if you just heard me. Like, I'm so sorry, you guys, for all the messages. I see them. I think I'm like responding to a couple of them. After that event, y'all, I was so burnt out. Like, y'all could probably kind of see it in my eyes. And I told myself, like, I'm not drinking another Celsius. So I've been drinking Celsius since then. And I've been like feeling it. So I will definitely be getting back to all your messages. And then I also have website templates to send out as well this evening. So those will be coming out. Let's see. I have a question on Thumbtack as well. I'm not sorry, not Thumbtack. We just on Facebook. Okay, let's see. Alexa said, I kind of like the instant because I've noticed those turn into jobs way better. Well, yeah, of course. Because like it's instant, like with an instant booking, you're literally not having to go into like the rigmarole of closing it. Like all those things I just talked to with Steve about, like, all those things. With this, you don't. Literally, it's just confirming. You're getting their phone number, their email, their address, and you're just confirming. And you want them to pay. Now, me personally, I want them to pay on Booking Koala because I want to manage all my payments from Stripe from one place versus now how Thumbtack allows them to be able to collect. Me personally, I just don't like to do all of that. So, but yeah, instant booking is definitely easier because it's like, you ain't gotta, wrestle with them. The only thing with instant booking for those that want to try out instant booking, know that the leads do cost more. And also make sure that your guys' availability is up to date on the calendar for instant booking, because they are booking with that date in mind. So because also in their mind, they have already booked, like they don't understand that you just like verbally committed to booking, but now I need to like get your information and put you on Booking Koala and actually book your appointment. So whatever date and time that they book for, they want that. Now, I'm not saying not to, if you absolutely can't find an available cleaner, not to do your due diligence to see if they are open enough to changing the time and date to best fit a cleaner's availability, but you ideally want it to match their availability. So just make sure that your guys' schedule is up to date and the availability is up to date on that. Yes, I blocked out my days. Perfect. Yeah, definitely block out days on Thumbtack. You can put time, availability, all of that, because the last thing you want is the last thing you want is to be losing that lead. How can I partner with someone in my cleaning business as they are starting theirs that I know personally? How can I partner with someone in my cleaning business as they are starting theirs that I know personally? I mean, that's kind of a tough question, because I remember working with a student, it was like two friends that wanted to launch. So I think it just depends on what both of you guys bring to the table, right? Like, let's say, for instance, you have availability to do everything that you need for hiring, and you have availability in the daytime to respond to leads. And let's say she's awesome at sales and SEO, right? Or maybe, like, let's say that I've seen work with people where, like, they had availability, but they had the funds, right? I think with any partnership with any kind of business, you just want to make sure that both of you guys are equally contributing in ways to where both of you guys are benefiting. Because the moment to where one person feels like they're outworking the other person, or one person feel like they're not benefiting from this partnership, then that's when, like, division comes. I had to bring on a partner for the VA company. I had the VA company for a year, and then I brought somebody on in January. And, like, I was nervous because I've only tried to work with a partner one time and it didn't work. But it's perfect. Like, it was like super God match in heaven, because she is everything that I'm not. And I am everything that she is not. And where I fall, she picks up. And where she falls, I pick up. And it's such, like, the perfectness in our partnership. It's, like, amazing. Like, I could not have asked for a better partner in that company whatsoever. So you just have to look for the same thing, right? Because once you feel like you're putting in more work than they are, then it's like, what's going to happen with the business, right? And then what kind of legalities, or how you guys are setting that up on the legal side of things, to where both of you guys have equal ownership and partnership. If anything, depending on, like, the funds and capital and things that you guys have available, I would be like, let's partner up, and you open up a location, in Tallahassee, and you open up one in Miami, right? If anything, or, like, what kind of partner services can we offer? Can you do moving and I do cleaning, and then we can bring our clients together? So, me personally, that's my thought. But if those are not on the table, then you just want to just make sure that both of you guys are able to equally contribute to the business, and each of you guys are benefiting from the contributions that you guys are making. Okay, Miss Sherry, I see your hand up, love. If you want to ask your question, and Facebook, I'll be back. Facebook, keep dropping you guys questions, and I'm going to be coming back and forth and answer you guys questions as well.
Hey, Jasmine, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy I was able to get on. I got the notification at the last minute.
I'm super glad to.
I have a question. As far as, like, what's your suggestion to get more client reviews? Like, it's been really, really hard. So, like, normally I will, send them the link. I'll usually send it to them the first time when I do, the follow-up call the next day to see how it went. And then if they don't do the review, I normally send another text, a nice little text, like, maybe about 2 days later. And then if they don't do it after that, I'll do it, like, the next week.
Yeah.
It's like, when you're into 2 weeks, like, what would you suggest?
I think we have to think of reviews almost as, like, a marketing tactic, right? I think sometimes we think of reviews just as, like, oh, can you please leave me a review? But I think if we put reviews in the same category that we would with anything else marketing related, right? And when we think of things that's marketing related, we associate that with a marketing expense, right? And for everybody, it's not going to take all of that, but it may. So I think you have to find a way to get creative in the bribery of the review, right? Yeah. Now, of course, we know that we can't ask for Yelp leads, and the way Google is going, I'm not even sure how they how they justify what reviews can be seen and what reviews cannot. I haven't figured that out yet. But maybe it's like, hey, enjoy a coffee on us after you leave a review, right? Or, hey, I would love to be able to get you a matinee ticket to the new, and and enjoy, after you leave a review, right? It has to literally be something like that, to where they see the benefit in leaving you the review. Now, if they don't desire to leave the review on their own, giving them something in return for their time to leave the review. By us knowing that service-based businesses grow and depend and need reviews, right? So if you're offering them a free fridge clean next time, oven clean next time, 10% off a deep clean next time, right? Like whatever you can be creative with in your reviews, and actually treating it as like a marketing expense, not minding to spend money in that area, knowing that this review is going to attract somebody else.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I just didn't want to say, okay, please leave us a review when, you get like 50% off. Like, I don't want to be that crazy.
Yeah, don't do that.
I mean?
Nothing crazy. Like the ones that I like to do the most is the add-ons. So like the fridge, the oven.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that I'm only losing half the cost because I'm paying the cleaner the other half, so like I'm only coming out of pocket that one cost. And then, but also like the Starbucks, that's a super cute way as well, because if your oven clean is on the low end is $20, I'm paying my cleaner $10. It's the same cost as spending $10 for a Starbucks card. Or if it's like, an icy or whatever the situation may be, something like that will help them. And then you can test it, see which option receives the best response.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I was actually thinking of a strategy of something like say if the cleaner goes there, so know how they have to get they can get the client to leave a review within Book and Club. So I was thinking of maybe instead of that review, maybe if they can get the client to just leave the Google review instantly, and kind of let it be an incentive for the cleaner to.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about maybe like offering the cleaner like a $20 Amazon gift or whatever. So my question with that, when you do that as a business owner, is that a tax write-off, like by giving them that stuff?
That would be in the marketing expense, right? So you want to make sure that that you're managing your expenses and everything is properly notated. But yes, that would definitely be a marketing expense, because we did do something like that too, to where it would be a $25 bonus for every review, for every 5-star review they got. And then
not like a 1-star or 2-star.
Exactly. For every 4-star review, we would do $20, because of course now it incentivizes both. It incentivizes them getting the review, like actually tangibly making sure that the review is submitted. And then also that they're doing a good job, so that way they can get that bonus, because they do 3 cleanings or 2 cleanings a day, $50 a day, and they do 3 to 4 work 3 to 4 days a week, that's going to add up for them.
Exactly. You got it. And then one last question, as far as marketing, so like we come up first, we rank first in about 2 areas. And I really want to go like hard in those areas, but I would like to generate, organic leads. So I'm just trying to figure out a way other than like, printing out flyers and door hangers. I know that, but I'm thinking since we automatically usually rank first, I can probably really try to go in on that particular area.
Yeah.
You have like some other strategies other than the whole, like I said, the flyers and the door hangers.
Yeah. So I'm not really too much of a fan of that old school guerrilla marketing, but we were talking about during the challenge about building awareness. I think there's a lot of unique ways that we can build awareness around local areas that we service, right? With partnering and leveraging other community businesses and their market, especially if their market is our market, right? So one thing that I used to do around the holiday time is I would partner with local, like not like mom and pop, like not like big chain companies, but like local companies, like the local pizzeria, right? The local sandwich shop, the local, you know, places like that, right? Local coffee shops. And then I would make these digital like coupon cards for like Christmas. I always would do like the 12 days of Christmas celebration, right? And then I would partner with these companies, and they would allow me to offer my clients a discount of their products. And then they would offer a discount of my services to their clients, right? And I would just email these out every time we would get a booking, throughout this, the campaign, whatnot. So that worked really, really well. And then also just finding unique ways to partner with local community events, right? So there's a lot of holidays that's going to be coming up, right? To where like if you can sponsor something. So what are we in? We're in August. I don't even know what holidays in August, but I know Labor Day is coming up, right?
Yes, the next one.
So like, we have a lot of like we have a lot of small towns. So it'd be like McKinney is having something, Plano is having something like in their old downtown areas, and trying to find a way to sponsor an event or sponsor something that they're contributing there, or volunteering your time at an activity that they're hosting can leverage the community, and also leveraging their PR as well, because those type of events bring in local PR. So if you are there volunteering, you know what I mean, and being able to contribute or be a sponsor, those are just good ways to build awareness. And it's not something that you'll maybe see an immediate ROI on, but I find that those kind of ways are pretty unique in smaller areas that you can really maximize like your awareness of.
That's true. Very true. Very true. Okay. I'll definitely try that.
Yeah, definitely try it. I know like the last one we did was Halloween. It was like pumpkin carving, right? And who sponsor the pumpkins, they allow them to put a tag on their pumpkin and advertise their business on it. So like there's a lot of unique ways that we can find.
Yeah, that's really nice. I know this month we actually got like 3 organic calls. So I was kind of happy about that. I'm like, okay, SEO. Okay.
All right. I'm telling you that SEO pays off when it does, though.
Yes. Yes, and I thought it was Google, because I automatically assumed they found us through Google LSA. And when I checked, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't see it listed. I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess I'm doing something right.
Yes, love it. That's awesome.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.